Well, hey, and good morning, and thanks for joining us today. This is Wesley Smith with Tree Service Marketing Profits, the Tree Service Marketing podcast for the TCIA and other associations too. So we basically are getting started today. We got a very special guest, James Morris, the owner of Morris Tree Company, or Morris Tree Service, I should say, in Pasco County, Florida. And he's joining us today. He's going to tell a little bit about his story, kind of where he got started, where they're at today. And if you're watching this on YouTube or hearing this on a podcast, go ahead and subscribe to our podcast or like our YouTube channel. It really helps us out. Plus, we put out more tree service content about marketing and different hacks and tricks and other expert interviews coming up as well. So, James, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate being here, and it's an honor to be on your show. So thank you very, very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for sharing. So tell us a little bit about your business, maybe where it's located. I guess we already mentioned it's Pasco County, Florida, kind of mainly. But kind of how you got started, maybe how long you've been in business, how many crews you got, those types of things.
Okay. So once again, we are located here in Pasco County. My father started this a long time ago, but unfortunately for my father, he was honestly a fifth grade dropout. So he didn't have a whole lot of very people-y, not really good marketing and how to grow a business, right? So we were never really taught how to run a business, but how to make money. He was very good at making money, but not good at running a business. And so my dad had got sick, and we had sold everything. He had diabetes, and he didn't have the insurance for those flushes that they had to do for his blood. And so we wind up selling everything, and I restarted with a truck, and I put some sides on it. And you want to talk about humble beginnings? It was literally a beater truck. I built two sides on the sides, and at that point we literally had nothing, and I just painted on there Morris Tree Service.
Bootstrapping to get started. I love it. Yeah.
So that's how we started, and we've built it up. I've got some mentors in my life today that have allowed me to understand what business is, the difference between, and if there's somebody watching this that's new to this, there is a complete difference between a hustle and a business. And I truly believe for a long time it was just a hustle for us. Today it's about business, employing people, giving them a better life, really setting a culture, really getting things to matter in a professional image. So, and right now we're still running one crew. So over the last year, we were going to switch to two crews, but one of my mentors suggested instead of doing two crews, I should just up the quota for the day. And that was really scary for us. I was like, you don't know this tree service industry, like people aren't going to pay these prices. You're nuts. He said, you just need to trust me. If you're giving enough value, if value outweighs price, it's cash in hand every single time. So I really took that on of how to give people more value for what we do. But this next year, we do plan on doing two crews. And then by the end of that year, our goal is to move into another county.
That's awesome. Yeah,
a lot of growth.
That's powerful. Yeah, and everybody here listening today, I mean, don't be too proud to get a mentor. Talk to people. I mean, I have them myself, in the digital marketing space. So same thing. I mean, you're talking to people that are in the business or know how to run a business that's similar in an industry like the home services industry or whatever that is. So I think that's a really good nugget, is just to get a mentor, talk to people, get out there and just find out what works, what doesn't work, how to grow, how to get out of the truck, how to expand your business, different things like that. And so I think that's awesome. So you're down there now. Yeah.
And as you speak on the mentor, if you're watching this, know that this isn't a competition thing, because, and we spoke behind the scenes earlier yesterday a little bit, like when our industry grows, we all grow. So like there's tree services out there that will help you. If you're just starting off, they will. It's not a competition. And the value of a mentor, we went from less than $200,000 a year to really, really close to $1 million. We're hoping to break that $1 million mark this year. So that's the difference of guidance.
Yeah. And another thing you said, I like that. That's perfect. And another thing you said too, is raising your prices a little bit. right? I know that's kind of a sticky subject. A lot of people like to be the price winner, or, they want to make sure they ensure they get that work. But I think what they don't realize is the costs, of being in business. And if you don't really crunch those numbers, if your prices are too low, you're not going to be able to operate and make a profit to really grow your business, invest and hire employees and more equipment, things like that. So it's one of the things I think starting out people fail to realize is they want to bid it where they get that work. And then they just, at the end of the day, there's no money left over. So exactly what you said, it was scary raising your prices, but it's necessary to grow your business, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is. And the reason it is for men like me or women that start off that maybe don't have the capital, that maybe they don't have the credit, like they can't just go out and get this stuff and hope to pay it back. Like we have to figure out, how are we going to get that money, right? How are we going to be able to grow? How are we going to be able to turn a profit? Because once we turn a profit, now the trucks match, now the uniforms are coming in, now we're marketing, now we're giving back to the community. There's so many things we can do once we start turning a profit and we know our numbers. And I like to go over our numbers every about 3 months or so, just to see where we're at, to see if we have to adjust where we're at, just in case.
Yeah.
But don't be scared, especially today's age with everything that just jumped. I know. So there's two mindsets we can have. And one is either you're going to be like, oh, well, everything's jumped, nobody's going to be able to afford it. Or you're going to understand that more money has hit the United States in the last COVID era than in our history of ever printing money. So that means, if you're listening, there is a cash flow out there. It is our job to show the value to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the analogies I like to give, because when I try to paint that picture of all the money printing that's going on with the federal government and everybody else is, if you have $10, right, sitting there, and naturally there's only so many goods and services to go around. Well, if you have two oranges, say this is just like at a basic level, there's two oranges sitting there, naturally $5 is going to go to this orange, $5 is going to go to that orange. Well, if there's $15, or let's say there's $16 that are in the same pile, naturally $8 is going to go to this orange and $8 is going to go to that orange. So same thing with anything else. If tree service was $1,500 for this a year ago or 2 years ago, now with all the new money sloshing around in the economy, instead of $1,500, now it's $1,900 for the same price. So you're right. You got to raise your prices because the cost of living, everything's going up. So you're totally correct about that. And so maybe it makes it easier to get your equipment because the financing maybe is a little bit easier nowadays too. But maybe don't go and overextend yourself. We've had this conversation with some other folks too. But I think that's a good way to put it, because
that's the one thing I'm really proud of about us. We try to do our very best to stay out of debt. We literally have one machine that we have a payment on. Other than that, we raise our money, we save our money, and we buy it. So it's ours, it's our assets, but obviously there's some times where that just can't happen, right?
Sure.
We try to keep that down just in case, because you never know the way the world will turn. And you want to make sure you're able to cover what you got going out,
Yeah. Well, and expanding too on the marketing piece and charging a little bit more money and making a profit. Would you say that, being able to make that profit and really make your trucks look sharp and your image look sharp and your company branding and all that look really, really good, would you say that helps attract better employees or helps attract people to your business too? Because they'd rather work for, a company on the up and up, a company that looks nice instead of just, maybe the ghosted trucks where nobody knows who's coming into the neighborhood and stuff like that.
Right. So I think that's definitely a foundation to keep people here. When we know what we're talking about in-house, it makes it more inviting to come in our house, right? So like when I don't know what's going on and where we're at, nobody wants to be involved in chaos.
Sure.
You find very few slim people that were willing to help you grow to that next level. So most people want you to already have it figured out. So when I know the numbers, when I know the systems, the cultures we want, like when those things are figured out, there's something really comfortable about that, and we do a really good job, and we could do that because we're still small, of getting to know people and making them feel a part of our company. You're not just an employee to us. You're not like I literally go home at night wondering, how is their family? Are they able to pay their bills? Are they happy? Right? Like, are they happy? Like every Monday morning we do a meeting. And one of the questions I ask them are, what can I do to make you successful? And that doesn't just mean in the job field, right? Is there something going on in your life that you could use some help with? We are a growing company, so sometimes it's like, can we do the little extra? We don't have a health insurance, but you know what I would do? I'll pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you depressed? I'll take you to go see a therapist. Do you have some dental issues? We'll help you out there. Like, because I care. Oh, you're a little behind on a bill. Here, we care. Like, I don't ever want an employee to wake up and go, God, I gotta go to work today.
Right.
I want them to be like, man, they feel like they have purpose. They feel like they're a part of something. And another thing we do really well at is we value their opinion. They matter. Like, this is not a closed door. You can't tell me anything. Like, I want your feedback because let's be honest, I'm not always in the field anymore.
Mm-hmm.
How can we grow? What are we missing? Where are our opportunities? Right. And like, that's the round table right there, man.
Yeah. And I mean, you having their back, I'm sure it makes them want to go to work, want to do the job every single day, of course. And I think on the flip side of that too, is I think it attracts the right type of customer too, right? Because that in itself, when you have a good branding, good image, good marketing, and everybody kind of sees your company is on the up and up, and the employees are happy where they're at. When you do good work for Sally Jones, let's say on 123 Main Street, well, Sally knows other people that are willing to pay decent price for good tree service and not get cut rate service that, you know what I mean, is not going to be what they expected. So I think it helps attract the right customer too. Would you say that that's the case?
Oh, listen, I totally agree. And if you ever get a chance to look at some of our reviews, a lot of our reviews are about our guys
Mm-hmm.
and the way they talk and the language we talk in and the behaviors that are there. Most of the time, it's not even about the tree work, right? Like, I don't want to hear about how good the tree work looks,
About the
but
people.
honestly,
Yeah.
it's about the gentleman on the ground, and how they work together, and they weren't cussing, and they weren't, you know, they were together, man. They were talking about their families. And, I've had some, around here, we'll tell each other, hey, man, I love you. Have a good day. And some
Yeah.
customers are like, you just tell your employee you love them? You damn right.
Mm-hmm.
You damn right. They're part of this family, and without them, we don't grow.
That's
So
awesome.
thank you,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did notice that you do have a very good online reputation, tons and tons of reviews. Talk a little bit about, do you have a tool or a system to help you generate those? Or are you just kind of asking people, hey, would you mind giving us a rating on our Google My Business listing? Or how do you go about doing that?
So I think that's a two-sided story. You're asking me about the marketing itself, and then you're asking me about the review, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a double question there.
Yeah, sort of like, how do you get so many Google reviews? Because you have like over
Okay.
100. That's really, really great.
So we have set the culture that if I'm willing to ask for a check at the end of the job, I'm willing to ask for a review.
That's awesome.
And when we talk to them, we let them know that, like, this is the number one way of us growing is by you talking about us. Like, because I can do this all day long, right?
Sure.
Talk is very cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say it about me, and they say it about me, and they say it about me, well, maybe there's some truth to it,
Mm-hmm.
So we really, in our Monday mornings, we make sure let's get that Google review, at least say it into them. And it starts for us, it starts with the sales process.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm selling and I go out there and I give them the whole spiel, and I'm showing them our folders and what it looks like and stuff like that. Like, hey, when you're happy with our services, make sure you leave us a Google review because it helps us grow. So right then, I set the tone.
You're planting
So
that
you're
seed.
hearing it from the very
Yes.
beginning, and you're hearing it at the end. Because once again, if I'm okay with collecting a check, I should be okay with you giving us a review.
That's right. If you
And
ask,
most people
you'll
just
receive.
need to be pushed a little bit.
That's correct. Yeah, and I
People
think
in
you're right.
general want to help.
They do, and you're right. And I always tell clients too, and different folks, it's like, look, you can fake 5 or 10 reviews, but 150, 200 reviews, you can't fake that. That's a lot of other people saying that your business is doing great work. and that word spreads. And not only that, when people do searches and they find a couple of tree companies, who do you think they're more likely to go with, right?
So, and one thing I will say about the reviews, sometimes I can get really hooked up on the reviews, right? And what I mean by that is I want everyone to like us. I want everyone to say good things about us. You know what? Sometimes you just can't get a happy customer. They are those out there. And what leads me to say this is like, it's about your response on your reviews. So I've had people call me and want to use us because the way I responded to a bad review. You know, we have a couple, not many, I think 2 or 3, somewhere right around there out of all those. And you know, it's the response. I mean, I really like the way you responded and how you handled yourself. It was super classy. You know, we would like to get an estimate from you.
That's a key point. That's a really, really key point, because once a year, once every 6 months, whatever that time frame is, somebody's going to run over somebody's grass. Maybe somebody was late to an appointment, whatever the case may be. A customer was having a bad day, and they give you that bad review. That's very powerful to go in there and just respond professionally, because people do read those reviews, not only the good ones, but they also read the bad ones. And so that's why it's another really important reason to get dozens and dozens of 5-star reviews when people are happy. And just like you said, all you have to do typically is just ask. They want to help you. But getting those really, really 5-star reviews are going to drown out the bad ones that you get once every blue moon. And not only that, when you do get a bad one, the way you respond, it means a lot, because it tells about your character, how your business operates, and all of that stuff. So I totally agree.
I mean, you have to remember the mind is already set up for a negative outlook. Most people are fear-based and negative outlook, right? You have to literally have a psychic mind change for you not to think like that. If you're winning and you're positive all the time, congratulations, you're winning. Most of the world is negative, right? And what they'll do is they'll go right to the negative first, because I don't know about you, but I've also looked at other people's reviews and I see all the good ones. I'm like, I wonder how many are their friends, right?
Sure,
you know what I'm saying? So I go to the bad one and go, okay, well, that don't even sound that bad.
Yeah.
Boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely take care of all it. We try to respond to every review that's there, good or bad. But when you do get a bad one, handle it with class and watch. They're not that bad. And that was something I had to learn about reviews. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't make you a bad company because you got a bad review. Like, give yourself a break.
Right.
You're doing the best you can.
Yeah.
You know?
And speaking on that, when people are negative, they're more likely to go online and share a bad experience because they have that feeling in their head. But a good experience, yeah, they had a great experience, but they're not as likely to go share that unless you ask them. Right.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. So,
and that's why one of our mottos for our reviews and one of our cultures that we said is we want to be 1 in a million. If you look at our whole marketing campaign, our whole rebrand was around the yellow cardinal. If you ever look up on YouTube a yellow cardinal, the chances of seeing one is 1 in a million. So we took that same image, we put it with Morris Tree Service and said, we are going to be 1 in a million. So how are we going to get to be 1 in a million? And we know that's by treating you with the best customer service we can, fair pricing, and just communication. Give you a 1 in a million experience. Like, I don't know about the rest of the world, but around here there was a really bad stigma for tree services, right? Tell me if you remember this one. You remember when Ring first came out? And the guy with the gray hoodie would come on. He'd be like, hey, I'm here to give you a bid for or an estimate for your trees, right? And he looked all drugged out or whatever. And like, that's the image Ring was going for, like, to protect your home. We get it. But it set a really bad example. And here in Florida, it was all over the news at the time, right? So, like, our 1 in a million experience is about communication, trust, core values, and like sticking to our core values no matter what. And if I can give you a 1 in a million experience, if I can make you feel a part of something and trustworthy, then I've done my job. You know, and that's the whole point of the yellow cardinal. I mean,
no, I'm glad you went into that, because that was going to be my next question. You know, what's you guys' unique selling proposition? And I already saw that, you know, based on your website and in some of the videos. And And so
Perfect.
I think that, that downloadable, just little document that you have, I mean, you can literally hand that out with your estimates. That's such a great little tool.
Hey,
And
look at this.
yeah,
See this?
yeah.
This is what every customer gets from us.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's
Okay, so
powerful.
on
Yeah.
the left side here, it's literally our core values, our mission statement, what Morris Life represents, and about how giving back to the community and what we do. And then on this side, obviously, it's our license, our insurance, our workers'
Mhm.
comp, and we also put one of these. I don't know if you can see them,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I
it's
can
a
see that.
$50 Morris bucks, right?
Mhm.
You can take that off, or if you're really happy with our services, we ask you to give it to a friend to try us, right? And so every customer gets this. Now, I got this idea from a paving company.
Mhm.
My whole strategy has not been to do what everyone else in the tree service is doing. My whole strategy has been, what is that roofing company doing? What can I take from them and add it to the tree service? What is that paver company doing? Boom. What is that electricity company doing that I can add here? So all these things that you see that we do, and I'm going to go over a few things as far as marketing.
Mhm.
This is a $4
Mhm.
impression. It says Morris Tree Service multiple times. We know the brain has to see Morris Tree Service 7 times. If you open this, you will see it 7 times in here. It will stick. Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if you don't and you want to throw it away, that's okay too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you went into that. That's very anybody watching, anytime you leave something behind, especially something that looks really professional, people hesitate to just toss it quickly, right? They'll at least let it usually sit on the kitchen counter or the desk
Right.
or something for a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, whatever. So they're gonna
Papers
see it.
I will fold up, throw in the trash. A
Yeah.
folder, it's going to sit on the counter, and
Yeah.
then you're going to open it and go, you got me again. I'm going to throw this away next time. I swear to God.
So
No, you're
there's
not. It's going to fold it up and it's going to
yeah.
sit there again because life is busy.
I totally agree because I do the same thing in my house, right? So like
Mm,
maybe I'll get something in the mail about gutter cleaning or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, right? And you're just going to leave it there because it's something that you want to get to eventually.
mm.
And so
Yes.
that's your 24/7 salesman sitting in their home or their business after you leave. And they remember you too. And you went through a lot of stuff with them. You perhaps gave them an estimate. You leave that behind and it's just marketing for you every day. They're going to
Right.
see it. And
So,
that's really good.
so a few other things that I'm a huge fan of guerrilla marketing. I absolutely love it. I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. I think it's cheap, low cost, high awareness if done properly. If you look at the market today for everything, it doesn't matter if it's billboards, digital marketing, email ads, direct ads marketing, like that price is going up and up and up. What we try to do is figure out ways so it is easier for a small company to go, oh, I've got $1,000 one time that I could like I won't miss, versus do I have $1,000 to $2,000 every month to pay out under a contract, right?
Mhm.
So that's why I love guerrilla marketing. I love collaboration with other people, and so like we do, it's cookies.
Mhm.
Send them. We're sending these to all of our property managements that we're taking care of, so they remember us.
Sure.
We already have a relationship, but
Mhm.
we want to make sure they remember us. Air fresheners and car lines and people that are detailing cars, right? Like there's so many things. I'm not gonna, that's too big to move over here, but I've got found on Facebook, it was people making birds out of tires.
Mhm.
And here.
Oh, wow.
I
Yeah.
had a bunch of those made and we sat them around town. Nobody's gonna know, but because of social media, now they can know exactly what that was. And what we did with those is our partner brands that businesses that we partner up with, we put that at all those things, and we had people go around, take a picture, and the person that found them all won $500. Right? Boom.
Giveaway.
Now,
Yep.
that story, I was like, oh, this is good. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. People's gonna talk about it. Somebody found it in 2 days. I was like, crap. There we go. Whatever. But the thing of that is somebody's seen it on social media and they told Bay News 9 about us. Bay News 9 brought
Wow.
us up as hometown heroes
Exactly.
for
Yeah.
taking care of our community. And I come from a different path, a struggle. So that is talked about on my social media. I'm not afraid of it. because I believe there's hope there, and everybody needs a little bit of hope. And so we were on Bay News 9 because of that. Guerrilla marketing is also another thing we do. And I know these things sound stupid, but they work. If you're not seen everywhere, you're not heard. So
I say that all the time about the signs.
so these signs,
yeah.
these signs here literally go in the top of people's ceilings. You know, like when you go into a restaurant,
Mhm.
you know, if you ever look, you got the white little things on top. Boom, we go right into those. We'll ask, hey, can we put these in there? You know, we're a huge part of, you know, we're a huge part of the thing called the hub, and we made these signs, and I don't know if you can see it there,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we have raised thousands upon thousands of dollars. We just did an event called the Hubaween, us and a bunch of businesses in our area, and we literally raised $52,000.
I think I saw that on your Facebook page where you guys did that.
So
Yeah.
that's the collaboration, and it's about being, once again, you have to see it. You're not seen, you're not heard, right? And when we try to preach positivity, once again, more signs, we put out positive things so people can see them in our neighborhood. Just a little market, you know.
Yeah.
So that's been a real huge. We took another building and we painted the whole side of it with Morris Tree Service. And what we did is we got people who were ever willing to take pictures with it. We would donate $10 to St. Jude's. It blew up on the internet.
Great idea. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's a win-win. They're benefiting, we're benefiting, the kids are winning. It's a win-win for everyone. Once again, everybody wants to help.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to, you know, feel a part of.
Great shares.
So that's some stuff we really like to get into as far as creativity. Obviously, we do a really good job of telling our story on social media. I think that's, once again, cost versus output. You make a much more impact through social media than any other marketing there is right now.
Great shares, man. Those are great shares. I always tell people too that the lettering of your trucks, the recognizable branding, putting signs in yards whenever you're doing the jobs, because neighbors are going to trust their neighbors to tell them who they did their tree work, right? If you're doing work for the neighbor, that's already a testimonial pretty much right there. You know, so you got your information in their yard or whatever, people can easily find your phone number to give you a call. But thanks for sharing those unconventional ways too, because that's often overlooked or thought of as something that's maybe too hard or takes too much time to do. But man, doing that, it just puts that impression out there that you're on the up and up. You're a great company. The people behind the company are great. You guys are donating to great causes. I mean, that makes people feel good, right, about your company and want to actually call you and refer you and those types of things. So I think that's very powerful shares.
And you know, listen, sometimes we have to tell people when we're giving the bids, they're like, oh, you're a little higher than everyone else. But I promise you, we do more in the community than anybody else.
Right.
So not only does your dollar go to a great company, but it also gets refunded back into the cities you live in, the charitable causes you want. So, I mean, it's a win-win, you know?
And on top of that, you got the folder there to kind of itemize why you might be a little bit higher. Look, this is the value we're going to provide and things like that. So don't be afraid to raise your prices, you know, ask higher prices. It's going to help your business tremendously. And like you said, it's going to be able to help you give back in the community and grow your company. You can't grow from where you started to close to $1 million in revenue without raising your prices, doing more marketing, getting yourself out there more. Are you guys doing any kind of online lead generation besides social media? Or I know you got the website, you got your
we do so I'm a firm believer of when I don't know something, hire.
Sure.
Okay. And I don't understand algorithms and SEOs and all that. So right now we have a guy that does our website and all that. He's actually been phenomenal. We just did the looks. We had 482 calls last month.
Oh, wow.
That was
182 calls. Wow,
482 calls.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, like that was, he's doing his job. And I finally found a company. And if you're listening to this, my experience has been, we've tried this before. All right. So, real quick, when I first started this process of the internet, for us to call it, I wanted to be everywhere and I wanted to be seen. Yellow Pages, Yelp, Google, if you name it, we wanted to be on it, right? what I found out is I was spending a lot of money a month not to get the results I wanted. Some of those were click ads, home about like certain things just didn't make a whole lot of sense for us. The lead generators, the I feel like we're already fighting towards the bottom, right? Because you already know you got 5 estimates coming out and they want the lowest. I'm not looking for the tire kickers. I'm not looking to be the lowest.
You don't want to be with the
right?
price shoppers and the people that are looking for the lowest price. Yeah.
Right. Because my value is different.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Monday morning meetings we do, the impressions that we leave, the workers' comp that is going up, and the insurances that we carry, the professionalism when the guys come with the hard hats and the matching uniforms and all, like that stuff costs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I don't want to do the work for what you can afford. I can't afford to do the work you can afford, and it's just really scary sometimes because you don't want to sound like a jerk, like you understand that like not everybody has it like that to go spend 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 on a tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've done some things where we've added financing for people, for like just another avenue of value. Once again, if my value outweighs my price, it's a job sold every single time. So my job is to give you value. How am I going to do it?
So some of the things that in the past you tried, like the shared lead platforms, and we talk about this too relentlessly week in and week out. So the lead platforms like Thumbtack or Home Advisor or Yelp, what happens, and even Yellow Pages, YP.com is trying to get people on their platform. The problem with those are typically is exactly what you said. They're going to get 5 estimates from 5 local tree companies in that zip code. So it's a race to the bottom on price, A. And then B, you're not really branding your company because they have to go on this third-party platform first before they submit their information. They want a tree trimming quote. And then from there, 5 companies call them, right? But they're never even seeing really your business until you show up at the door. Whereas if you show up everywhere online with a direct search already for those same keywords, they're going to see Morris Tree Company, they're Morris Tree Service. They're going to see your business brand first. They're going to see all your reviews first. It's a different type of lead that comes in that way. It's a way better lead, higher quality lead. They've already seen your reviews. They value the reviews. They know your company's better. Now, if you're not getting enough from what you're currently doing, hey, maybe in your local market, those platforms are going to work. We've had some clients where they do, right? Most of the time, though, it's just they say they're only giving it to 4 or 5, and they swear, I've talked to certain clients before in the past, they're giving it to 7 or 8, 10 companies in the local area because the client gets, and if you think about it too, it's really tough to get those leads on the phone because they submit their information on the platform. They get called 5 times within 15 minutes. They're not going to answer any more calls. Like, so if you wait 30 minutes or an hour to call them back because you're busy, you're going to miss that lead. You're going to still have to pay for it. So that's a good
yeah, it just didn't work for us. I think if you're starting out, you take it.
Yep.
I honestly think you take whatever you can get to start getting your name out there, right? In your first year, you do whatever you got to do to get the phone ringing. And so not only the leads, but when I first did this about the Googles, like I didn't know anything. I told you, like I wasn't taught anything about business. So when you start getting a little presence, people will call you, oh, we can do your Google ads management, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Next thing you know, I don't hear from them. I don't know from them. And I'm guessing going, is it working?
Sure. I'm
so grateful with the guy that I got now. Constant contact. We have conversations maybe every couple of weeks, unless I see a problem and I can call him right up. Hey, what's going on here? He kind of also walks us through it. And this is what you should be looking for. This is what it is. And he's really taught us how to make a website work for you. So if you're watching this and you're the new guy, I had no idea that a website could really work. The whole reason that I got a website when I first got one?
What's that?
People wouldn't think I was a fake company. They didn't think they gave me a standard of professionalism, and that's all I thought it was. Now, I just told you we've got 482 calls that came in last month. that's because our not all of them are the website. Let's be very
Sure.
clear about that, right? Like I don't want to give an
Yeah.
unrealistic expectation, but we have the numbers of which ones were,
Mhm.
and we can see that there's growth. Oh my gosh, a website can do work for you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it can. It's like this funnel, and I'm still new to this, so I'm learning about funnels and how to get them down to where you need them and brighter to bear, So it's nice to finally get a company that I could trust with my Google, that I feel comfortable with being able to talk to and see the numbers and finally know that I have a website that's working
Yeah.
for me. It's not just wasted money. It's literally doing work.
Well, and you mentioned a couple other good things in there too. And having the website is kind of your hub of your online presence. That's where everybody's going to end up eventually. They're going to, if they're coming in from Facebook, if they're coming in from Google My Business or word of mouth, referral, whatever, they look up your business, they click on your website first. They're going to look at kind of what you do, what services you offer. And on top of that, like you said, if you offer them to subscribe to the newsletter, or if they submit the contact form, if they're all going into a database, whether you're using Arbor Gold or Arbo Star or Job or any of those databases, single ops for the tree care industry, and all of those leads continue to get implemented into your system day in and day out, month in and month out, quarter after quarter, year after year, you're going to end up with 5, 10, 15,000 people in your database. They're all in your local market. They've either seen your business, know your business, you've given an estimate to them, you've done work for them. And that's a very powerful list of people that you can send monthly email newsletters to, because you mentioned constant contact. So is that something you're doing to your existing contact base, is sending email newsletters out type thing? Or
There. I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. What'd you say?
oh, sure. So with everybody going into like a database type thing, and you mentioned the constant contact, are you guys doing like a monthly email newsletter type thing to the database, or is that, you mentioned constant contact? How are you guys using that?
So we do email blasts.
Mhm.
We try. So we don't ever want to be the company that's in your box every month,
Mhm.
right? Like I go based off of what are things that I hate. I hate going to my email and I've got 100 of them for the day that I don't even remember giving you my damn email. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Yep.
So we do it every once in a while. We have done. All right. So you had talked about Jogger and stuff like that. We actually use House Call Pros.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of it. I think it was another game changer for us, because it allowed us to store all the companies. Like, how long did I go in this business? I've been doing this since 17. Everything was handwritten, and you know where that goes?
Yeah.
Gone. And I
Mhm.
have no way of going back through all the contacts. Like now, because of House Call Pros, it's more professional. It's
Mhm.
more. All right. So when you get our services, you make the call, you get a text message from us that says you the date. When our salesman is on the way, either me or our other sales guy, they send you a text again. Hey, they are on their way. When you're followed up, they'll get and you also get emails as well for this. When you finish, you get a text and an email. Right when you want to approve, it's all there. It's right there. And what I like about House Call Pros is they've actually added a few systems. It's really, because I love numbers,
Mhm.
and it allows you to say where you're at today, what you're doing per week. Is it going up or down? So then you can go, wait a minute, we're averaging 20 some thousand here. Why did it go down to 15 this week? Why did it go down to, okay, what did we do wrong? Did somebody not pay? Da, da, da. Like, it keeps all of that information for us. That's a real game changer,
Yes.
um, for people. I think no matter what system you feel comfortable with, I would definitely strongly suggest you get a system,
Totally
because
agree. Yeah, we have that conversation all the time. Like, you literally have no idea what is going on until you get one of these systems. And then when you get the system, you start seeing, like, you can see every moving part of your business, whether
mm-hmm,
that's estimates, whether that's invoices that are not paid, you still need to collect on. These systems will follow up on estimates. They'll follow up on invoices that haven't been paid. They'll follow up on all these different things. Like you said, it'll also text, and just the communication factor. People would rather be over communicated to in the service industry than way under
under.
communicated to.
True
I just did a
story.
video. Yeah, I just did a video on my social media. I try to do weekly videos on there. And one of the most recent ones I did was good old fashioned customer service. why you should give good old fashioned customer service. Because you know how many companies today that's all automated. It's a phone tree when you call. You can't get anybody on the phone. If you're that one company that always picks up the phone, you answer it, you answer it with a smile, you're happy to talk to customers, you're going to stand out head and shoulders and kind of be like what your slogan is, 1 in a million, right? You're going to be 1 in a million company. And that's going to resonate with people. They're going to be happy and eager to refer your company because you guys pick up the phone, you answer the phone. I just cannot even overstate how important that aspect of being in business is. And you're right. I mean, if you don't have a database, you can't even grow your business without that database system. It's
the very
tough.
first impression you get is that first phone call. And sometimes I got to tell my wife, I said, hey, you think you can come home with some of that customer service voice?
Yeah.
Because she's so nice.
Yeah.
She's so friendly. She's literally had people write reviews about her. Like when I get there to make a sale, when she's already done her job, and this is how important it is to answer that phone. Because in this industry, in this lifetime, and where we're at today and how speed works, if you don't answer, I'm on to the next one. And it's not your fault. I'm not judging you. It's just I have something that I feel is an urgent need. You know, like, and I need to talk to somebody now. So like that first phone call from her to the database, keeping that communication open, it's a game changer.
Total.
You ain't got a system, get a system, need it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's awesome, man. You shared so much so far, James. Appreciate it. We're about 40 minutes into it. I don't want to keep any of your time's valuable too. What would you say to the owner of a tree service business who's maybe just getting started, maybe a year or two in, and they're trying to take their company to the next level, maybe go from getting started to $1 million in revenue, similar to your story, or maybe they're kind of trying to hang on, they're wondering if they made the right decision. What would you tell that person who's hungry, they want it, but they need to make sure that they stick with it and they need to keep pushing forward, getting their name out there and just, that hope that the business is going to be good. They just got to keep doing it, right? Usually success is right around the corner if you just keep moving forward.
Yeah. So if I had to tell anyone that's starting out, don't compare yourself to any other tree service. Comparison will take you out of gratitude. Gratitude is an attitude where it will set the tone for every day of your life. And if you're happy and you fall in love with this, money will come. You're putting in the hard work. Don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. Don't stop because you got punched in the face. Don't stop because something didn't work or listen, we have more breakdowns in a year and I don't know how we're going to do this. It's just gratitude. Listen, right now, if you're a struggling tree service, I can promise you, and I could look you in your eyes and tell you that somebody's praying for what you have right now. Somebody's watching. I don't care if you're the little guy or you're the big guy. Somebody's watching. Keep going. You're there. You're almost there. And if you're not there yet, get there.
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen.
Great share, man. It's all about just putting one foot in forward the other, and like you said, not comparing yourself to others. You're not going to be $1 million tree company the first year, maybe the second year. Some people have these amazing stories, right? But there's really no need to go lightning fast if you don't really feel comfortable doing that. Just keep doing what you're doing, keep working hard, and good things will happen to those who do have gratitude, because it's easy to be negative every day. And like you said, there's two different ways to look at every situation: as a learning opportunity or as something just happened to me, right? But you got to look at it as a learning opportunity and just keep moving forward and growing and staying positive. And that'll really go a long way, because if you do that day in and day out, it just, it keeps affecting other people too, just like it does you.
So, and I'll end on this. I'm a huge Gary Vee fan. For some reason, if he ever sees this, just know I want to meet you.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge Gary Vee fan, and he said something that just absolutely changed my life, and maybe it could change someone else's too. When you understand that everything in this life is working for you and not against you, you're better off. When you have the breakdown, there's a reason. When guys didn't show up, there's a reason. Maybe they were going to get hurt that day. Maybe you saved the flat tire that you can't believe. Well, maybe that was so you didn't get into a wreck down the road. Like, everything in your life is working for you and not against you. It's mindset, man. It's huge. It's
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing today, man. This is going to help a lot of people. I know it will. James Morris, the owner of Morris Tree Service down in Pasco County, Florida. So we really appreciate your time today. If anybody is watching this podcast, go ahead and like our podcast. If you're on the YouTube channel watching this podcast or social media, like our pages. We put out all kind of tree service marketing content online. Future episodes coming up with $1 million plus tree companies, just like James with Morris Tree Service. We really appreciate your time, James. Thanks so much for joining us. And we'll talk to you guys again soon.
Thank you, sir.